He needs no introduction. Welcome to The Pivot. This is Fred Taylor and Ryan Clark, this Channing Crowder, the great Steve Harvey, Pivot fam. Thank you guys for pivoting with us. Probably about 2 weeks ago. And, I told you thank you at the time. You just sent me a text message out of the blue. I just want to let you know, I was dealing with some things based on who I am, whether it be on TV or who I support. And to get that text message from you to keep on going and to keep on being who I was meant the world to me. And so, I want to say thank you. Yeah. After you text me, I was like, well, I'm gonna give him about a week and a half before I ask him to be on the show.
You sure did.
But I would like to ask you, you don't do a lot of things like this. What made it sort of okay for you, or what made you make the decision to sit with us?
You know what it is, man? Because I watch the show. I watch y'all's podcast. I don't watch a lot because I'm just not into especially people's opinions and thoughts and stuff. I let them have what they want to have. But this show right here, man, to me, was like a safe place for men to come. And I've watched you all embrace men on this show like I've never seen people embrace men. To offer them your friendship, your guidance, to tell them that you love them, to hug them when they're crying. And I said, man, I've never seen a group of men get together to celebrate manhood and then to turn around and honor each other, but then to offer sincere help. And that's why I said, man, that's a dope show, man. I would do that. Before you even ask, I said, man, I'd do that show, but I don't reach out. I don't, hey, man, can I do your show? It just ain't never been me. And then you had dude that played cornerback for LSU on.
Greg Brooks.
And that had the accident and got paralyzed and started walking again. And that interview was compelling to me. But when he got up and walked off and it broke you down, I said, okay, yeah, them real dudes right there. Because you held it together for him to let him say what he say. But the whole time, man, you was hurting for him. Because, all y'all play a violent game, man. But they don't know behind these violent games are real men that hurt, that have feelings, that deal. You figure you're a football player, you ought to be that, right? But y'all are men with y'all family men, y'all got kids and stuff, and we joke about that, but when it broke you down, man, that really mattered to me, man. I said, damn, these dudes is real. So as soon as you asked me to do it, I said, cool.
He did.
Because I don't really fool with a lot of them.
But Steve, that humanity of it though, you're super famous worldwide. It was just something that came out that motherfuckers knew you before Tom Cruise or something I saw online. That humanity of being a black man, where does that come from? Because you could be just a famous dude, but you really care.
I had to get that to my mother, man. My childhood was different, man. My mama was a Sunday school teacher for 40 years at the same church. My father was a hoodlum. My father was a hard-working, that dude that drank on the weekends. But my father, he didn't go to church. My father never talked to me about God, never talked to me about prayer, faith. All he talked to me about was hard work. Hard work, be a man, take care of your family. Take care of your sisters, take care of your mama. When I ain't here, and I was the youngest. When I ain't here, this is what you gotta do, this is what men do. My mother taught me about faith. And I think the most important message she gave me a long time ago, she said, listen, she said, it's something about you that's different from all these kids. She said, one day God gonna give you a big house up on the hill. When you get up on the hill, you can't get up there and don't show nobody else how to get up there. And you remember that. Now, when you 8, this ain't registered. Big house on the hill. I just want a driveway where we ain't got to drive in and back out. That's all I want. I don't need a house on the hill.
Yeah.
I want a driveway where you can go around like that. Because, when Christmas, they used to take us out to the suburbs, look at the Christmas lights. And all them driveways, they went around like, I said, Daddy, why we can't get one? He said, we ain't got no money for that. He said, but if you work hard, one day you can get that. And so that was part of probably my mother's doing, man, to make me remain humble and remember to give back.
And you're still doing that, though. You were giving us flowers and how we sit with men, you have a mentoring program for the young men through your foundation, right, with your wife.
Yeah.
I think you say you teach them like principles of manhood,
Right.
teaching them how to unlock, the potential within and unlock dreams. Kind of speak to that a little bit. It's like a 5-day camp.
Yeah, because all it is, man, is I bring in boys 13, 18 years old from single-parent homes that have no father figure, have no father in their life. And the way I started it, man, was, my father died when I was 43. And my mom had died when I was 40. My mother's death affected me differently. It was the single most crushing blow I've ever had, man, in my whole life. But when my father died, I couldn't believe it. Because he was just the coldest dude I knew, man. My father was just that dog. He was just that dog, man. And I couldn't believe he died, right? And at the funeral, he in this casket, and I was sitting there going, man, without that dude right there, there's no way I would have been here. He just taught me too much dog, man. He put the dog in me, the fight, the grit, the toughness. And without him, I wouldn't have been there. So I'm on the plane going back home, and I said, man, how do you make it without a father? And I said, wow, that's gotta be a difficult thing for a young man to make it in this world without a father. Because, look, man, a boy without a father is like an explorer without a map.
No guidance.
Bro, you don't know how to get there. Manhood can only be taught by men. So that was the birth of my foundation right there. I said, man, so I had a ranch in Dallas. I said, man, I'm gonna start bringing boys in there to teach them about how to make your dreams come true and how to be a man. Because if you got a single mother, God bless them. And there's some wonderful mothers out there. But your mother can make you a good citizen, a good student, a God-fearing man, law-abiding citizen. She can make you courteous. She can make you well-kept and groomed. She can't make you no man, though. She cannot do it. You need that from somebody. And so that was the birth of the foundation. And so we bring them out at my ranch. It's different now. I sold that ranch in Dallas. I got another ranch about an hour 20 south of Atlanta between here and Macon. And I bring them in for 5 days. And I only cover 2 things: principles of manhood and dream building, how to be the best man you could be, and how to make your dreams come true. Because that's the key to these, especially minority boys, or any boy really, that's the key. And so we do that for 5 days. I have a lot of speakers and stuff come in, all male speakers. Sometimes you get some corporate help, and American Airlines one time said, well, we have a female speaker we want to speak. I said, well, do you have a man that could do it? Well, what we're not gonna do is be slighted because you have some gender preference. I said, no, ma'am. I said, listen to me. They hear from women all the time. I need to show them as many men as I can that they can look up to as an example. So if you just send me a man. Oh, this lady was just arguing with me, man. Arguing with me. To the point where the argument got down to, we will take our tickets that we gave you to fly in on if we don't let this woman speak. I said, okay, cool. So I let her speak. The most ineffective speech ever at that ranch.
This has been, started off, you've been dropping some gems, right? It's been a lot of wisdom. But I'm not gonna let you just keep sliding in this affluent lifestyle you have.
How just slide it in?
So, I had the ranch in Dallas, but see, we sold that one. So now I got a ranch that's like an hour and a half from here. That's between here and Macon. When we pulled up, right? Channing was driving down in the golf cart, on the back of the golf cart, and he was like,
I was mesmerized.
When you have all that though, like there's a motivation when you're broke. There's a motivation when you've seen your father work so dang hard every day, when he's instilled that in you. When you got 17 million shows on TV, when you've authored best-selling books, when you have a beautiful family, different houses you can go to, we yacht in Europe in the summer. What keeps Steve Harvey motivated now?
Well, I gotta go back to my mama being a Sunday school teacher, right? There's a scripture that says, a man without a dream or vision shall perish. You got to always have something you shooting for or what you getting up for. So you can't lose your motivation. That's why when a lot of people retire, they just wither and die because their reason to get up and go live has been taken away. They thought retirement, but they had purpose. See, you gotta always have purpose. Yeah, I tell young people this all the time, man. It's hard to make money, man. And it's hard to make a lot of money. And it take a long time to make a lot of money. But if you think it's hard to make money, it's way harder to keep it and to add to it. I equate it to doing 100 push-ups. You know, all y'all in physical shape. You played in the league. But the average person can't do 100 push-ups in a row. I bet you it'll be every 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 people you can find do 100 in a row. Probably more than that. But let's say that you manage somehow to get to 70 and every fiber in your body is shaking and quivering and you get to 80 and your teeth has got hairline fractures in it and the veins is bulging out your head. And then you get to 90 push-ups and you peeing on yourself and people are talking to you, but you can't even communicate. Yeah. And somehow, by the grace of God, you get 100 push-ups in. You are now successful. Now, guess what? To stay successful, guess what you gotta do? You got to hold. You got to lock and hold. And after 100, that locking and holding is hard because you done burned everything up getting there. Yeah. Now you got to hold, but that's the only way. You got to lock and hold. And you got to stay there, man, because at that point, by the time you get here, you got so many people counting on you. Yeah. And like, you know, you all heads of families. What happened if you stop doing what you do? Have you counted the people that will crumble and suffer if you stop doing what you do?
Oh, yeah.
You can start with all them people that bought all these cameras that drove all these trucks. They got to go find something else to do. That's starters. Then they family got to get the news. I ain't working no more with Pivot. They got to start thinking of something else. You ain't even said nothing about what you do for your parents, what you do for your wife's people, because you helping everybody. Because everybody think you it. Yep. And heavy is the head that wears the crown. The cold thing about the crown is you don't get to take it off. You don't even get to lay down with it. That's why you toss and turn at night, because that crown cutting in your head. See,
is that why you don't say no to no jobs?
Yeah, man.
You don't say no to nothing.
Nah, I stack them.
Have you ever said no to anything? Because that's the thing with you. What's the thing you did when you messed the little girl name up?
Are you gonna bring that up?
I knew it was coming.
That was funny to me. I laughed.
2015? Damn. Man,
that was 10 years ago.
That's
the
been
beauty
10
contest.
years. Yeah,
so the beauty contest to the little
Miss
kids
Universe.
talent shows
Yeah.
to the you never would say no to a job.
Look, man, somebody told me one time, they said, man, Steve, seemed like everything you touch turned to gold. No, I just don't touch everything. I only touch what's brand worthy and what's on brand. Look, man, I was homeless, right? I lived in a car, everybody know that. But somebody asked me one time, they said, hey man, why you spend so much money on your cars? Because I have like really nice cars. I said, well,
that's all.
Because if this ever goes bad, I'm gonna be living in a Rolls Royce. It got refrigerator in it, TV, computer, icebox, got heated seats.
Everything.
You know, I'm gonna be a lot more comfortable.
Right.
Now, in essence, really, I'm gonna sell that car and buy a house, in essence. But I've been running from poverty for so long because I was in it for so long. I guess I'm kind of afraid of, you know, it going bad. And I just can't stand the fact that some one person can come up to me, because I've been laid off before. At General Electric, they came and gave me a layoff slip right at Thanksgiving. And then they let me have a 20-pound turkey. And I had to go home and tell my wife and twins, I got 20-pound turkey, I ain't got no job no more. That's the last time I had one job.
That's nasty.
So like, if Family Feud come to me and say, you ain't got no more job, I just go do the judge show. If the judge show come to me and say, you ain't got no more job, then I just go do the radio show. If the radio show say, you ain't got no more job, then I'm gonna go overseas. Because I got some more jobs.
Yeah.
Ain't no one person finna take me out.
Is it any job you've taken that you regret or you haven't taken that you look back and regret?
I tell you the biggest mistake I ever made, because I didn't know business back then. Years ago, man, I had a TV show called Steve Harvey's Big Time. It came on the WB. And I had 3 judges, 3 celebrity judges, but they wasn't real celebrities. You didn't hardly know them. The WB was a fledgling network, so they paid who they could. We called them celebrities. They was nice people. And I hosted the show, and I bought them. You didn't know these people. I didn't know them. But I introduced them, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, please, put your hand. And just pointed at him, and he'd stand there and wave, and I'd be going. I've said, who the hell is this? And so that was a show, and I bought acts who did everything. Dude that could, a woman take a toaster and spin it around and just bust her husband in the head with it. And then she spin it around and bust it until the whole toaster explodes. You know, I was doing stuff like that. I had a dude that could sit on top of firecrackers and M80s and cherry bombs. He had to go to the hospital. I was there at night when he sat on the wrong thing a little bit too much. He lost a testicle. on my show. Crazy stuff I was saying. And so, you know, people doing all kind of crazy acts, right? And so it lasted for 2 years. And then I didn't know nothing about business. I didn't own it. I just created. I was the king of making appearance money. And the show went off the air. The next year, a show came on that had 3 judges on it, had a host on it. They hired all the producers from Steve Harvey's Big Time. And all of the acts that I had the first year on it appeared on that show. You know the name of that show? America's Got Talent.
Wow.
Biggest mistake I've ever made, man. Wow. Because I didn't have the paperwork and the business, the ownership, the IP. And I got all of that from Showtime at the Apollo. Because I said, man, they ought to take Showtime at the Apollo and make it prime time. No, that's barbaric, the booing. Well, no, not really. I said, okay, well, and that's where I got the whole concept from. That's the biggest, hey man, I wouldn't even have to work today.
That's crazy. I think God does work in mysterious ways. For us, not having the paperwork actually landed us the pivot. That's how we got this show.
What you mean by that though?
Oh man, I don't even like to go back to talk about it, but we were on another podcast during the pandemic and the paperwork wasn't together. So we got together, we had to pivot from there and we all got together, Alicia, the producer, we tapped in with RC and we said before we do anything, we gonna make sure the paperwork good. So we had to pivot, the pivot was born and it's a blessing for all of us.
Now we sit with Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
But see, y'all doing something, see, I kind of missed that edge because I didn't know what you all know, the smartness of social media and the technology, because I'm an old school cat, you know, so I kind of missed that mark, you know. I've been straight real TV, and now TV is changing. Right. TV is not the giant that it was because there's too many streamers out there now. When I was doing the Steve Harvey show with Said, that was my second sitcom, because I had a sitcom called Me and the Boys. To stay on TV and be a success, you had to have a 7.5. Me, Jamie Foxx, Parenthood, the Wayans, we was all on the same network with 7s. A hit show today to stay on TV is a 0.7.
Wow.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, man. There's a show that's been on CBS for 12 years called FBI, I think it is. 7 years. They get a 0.7. Make all the money they can. But TV has changed now, man. And so now with the change coming, I have to constantly think of what's the next move, because change is inevitable. You got two things you can do with change. You can participate in it or you can react to it. If you react to it, you're gonna be late. So since the change is coming, you might as well participate. I really respect what you all doing, like with a podcast, because it was crazy. I tell you what else tripped me out. People say, you don't really do podcasts, because everybody asks me, I said, where's your podcast? It's in Miami, all you gotta do is fly down. No, that ain't finna happen.
Right.
I'm not finna spend no money to go, I spend money to make money. That's the business, If I gotta get a jet, then come on, man, I need to be making some paper. So when Ryan asked me, I said, hey man, where y'all at? He said, we'll come to you. I went, okay, what kind of money they got? Because that ain't no regular podcast. Because everybody I know got a podcast is Poe, They just, because they're podcasting, they want to send a Zoom, and do you have Microsoft meeting, and can you? So I'm not finna do that, man. I'm on TV for real. I'm not finna sit on a computer and press no button and have some bad light on me. I already got big nose. You can't have large features and then be badly lit.
That's crazy.
It just don't make no sense.
In that small box at that.
Boy, God, dog.
Oh, so you ain't telling we could get him on Southwest?
No, we can't. He don't fly no Southwest.
Now, last time I've been on, they had the seat that face you.
Looking back at you.
Yeah, this little. Okay.
Hey, let me tap into this real quick, because you crazy.
See how I caught myself?
Yeah, buddy.
I said, boy, that right there, that's gonna light the internet up.
Hey,
What did he say?
I don't know if I ever been on Southwest when they had the seats that face you.
Yeah, I've been on there.
I want to go back to what RC started about motivation. You said it's hard to stay there.
Yeah.
But you were homeless for 3 years.
Yeah.
And it'll be probably more people that's homeless and trying to get out of that situation than where you are now and having to stay
for
in.
sure.
So speak to that, was it harder to fight out of that and get to this spot more so than
Of course, at the
maintaining it?
time, it feels that way. Because in order to get to it, you got to go through it. And it's the going through part that people don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
I look back on everything that's happened to me, and was it worth it? Yeah, because I get to be here now. But for people who are stuck, you ain't got to be you're homeless to be having it hard. You could be in a full-blown relationship with somebody and be having it hard. Man, you can have a nice house and have it hard because you don't know. I try to say to people, it's not where you at, it's where you going. And you can't lose sight of where you going. Because today is temporary. If it all goes right, today will be called yesterday.
Right.
And if it all goes really right, tomorrow gonna be today. And so if you can understand that it can change for you tomorrow, it'll give you the fortitude to hang in there today. Because all you got to do is wake up. See, when you wake up in the morning, man, that's God sending a clear signal to you that he ain't through with you yet, that he still got more for you to receive. And that's how I look at it. So when I was in that car homeless, I hated it, but I knew God was showing me something. But after about, I'm gonna tell you real, man, after about a month, I told God, I said, okay, man, I got it.
Major point, huh?
I need a mattress, brother.
Major
You
point.
have my attention. Got it.
Right.
6 months in, I said, okay, God, I put both hands on the dashboard. Got it, locked in, undivided attention. Me, right here, what you want. I'm looking, I'm here. A year later, hey. Okay, you tripping. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
What we doing? I got it. Yeah. 2 years in, I'm done. Hey man, it's not even I got it no more. It's what else do you want? Because I done gave it all. 3 years in, I said, I can't take it no more. I'm out. I'm gonna go home. Because see, my parents never knew I was homeless. My ex-wife, I got a wife, twins. So I said, man, let me call my daddy, ask my daddy if I could stay at his house for 6 months, get a job, I'm gonna let this go. And that was the plan. And before I called him, they had let me put a phone in their attic with an answer machine on it, because they knew I was out on the road. Mm-hmm. So I called my answer machine on the day I was gonna give up. And a phone rang, and it was Chuck Sutton from Showtime at the Apollo. This in 91. He said, hey man, I saw a tape of yours. You funny as all outdoors. We got an opening on Showtime at the Apollo on Sunday. If you can get here, give me a call, blah, 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 let me know. It's Thursday. I'm in Pensacola, Florida. I got $35. It ain't no way I can get to New York with $35. It ain't no way. I ain't got no gas in the car. So I knew I had to get some gas, because, you know, I really owe y'all an apology, because I'm the one person that's solely responsible for the sign that says pay before you pump. Because I could get some gas. I'm gonna fill it up. I wasn't getting like $5, because you're gonna go to jail for the $5.
Right.
I'm filling up. Soon as ain't nobody looking, ease on over to by the door.
Right.
Drive off. So I just want to put that out there. I apologize that y'all dealing with that sign. So I get back in my car after I get this message, and I'm broken, because the one thing I want to do was be on TV was Sunday night in New York, and I can't even get there. So I said, man, I ain't know what to do, man. So I got us a man, let me go back and call the machine and see if he said this Sunday. Maybe he said next Sunday, and maybe I can hustle up some money and get up there. I called back, and he said the same thing. It's Chuck Sutton, Showtime at the Apollo. I saw a tape on you, very funny. I got an opening on Apollo. If you can get here by Sunday, give me a call. Click. And I was fitting to hang up, and it said, toop, you have another message. And I pressed the button. He said, Steve Harvey, this is Tom Sobel from the Comedy Caravan. I don't know where you are right now, buddy, but I got a gig in Jacksonville, Florida at the Punchline. If you can get there tomorrow night, I got $150 for you. I called Tom Sobel, I got the gig. I drove from Pensacola to Jacksonville, made the $150 on Friday night. I said, man, I got $150. I called Chuck Sutton, he ain't answer the phone. He said, I was so funny, he said, hey man, I'm gonna replace the act we got. If you stay another night, I'll give you another $150. That's Saturday. I said, okay, cool, because I hadn't heard from Chuck Sutton. I do the $150. I get on the phone, I call Chuck Sutton. He said, yeah, this is Chuck Sutton. I said, it's Steve Harvey, man, you still got that opening tomorrow night? He said, yeah. Eastern Airlines was opening. I bought a ticket for $99. Wow. Flew to Harlem, New York. Did Showtime at the Apollo, got standing ovation. I've been on TV ever since, man.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's sort of like the picture you always see where the one guy stopped digging right before he got to goal.
Bro, that's my favorite picture.
You know?
Everybody do that, man. You know who, Deion Sanders told me one time, man, we was talking. He said, Steve, everybody got a turn back moment. Everybody got a moment in their life where they turn back. You get to choose now. Because turning back is the simplest way to go about it sometimes. It's easy to turn back. It ain't hard no more. But that's kind of crazy. Some dude asked me the other day, he said, one of my partners, we was talking, he said, Steve, why you always take the hardest road, man? You always go the hard, why you always pick the hardest road? I said, hey man, what make you think I see two roads?
That's real.
I just know that way.
Right.
That's the way. And the way is hard. That's the way. But see, all is hard, homie. You just gotta pick your hard. It's hard to go to the gym and get in shape like y'all. But it's hard to be a fat motherfucker too now. Shit.
It ain't hard.
Yeah, that's hard. You walk your ass back up that hill. It's hard.
Yeah.
You'd have been better off going to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to open up a business. It's hard to start a company. Yeah, but ain't it hard to go to a job you hate and get underpaid? That ain't hard. Yeah. It's hard to buy a big house. I know that. That's hard. Ain't it hard living in a tiny house though?
Hard living in a car, too.
Hey, man, you know a funny thing, I had a TV show, talk show, right now. Had these people on from tiny homes. Producers had put them on the show. And I don't know what's going to be on the show all the time. I just come to work and they say, this is the show we're doing this week. And today we have the representatives from tiny home. And, I try to get all the jokes out my system in the production room, because I'm not finna sit up in here and co-sign this tiny house shit. I'm just not finna do it. I done lived in the car. I'm not finna. So we get on the show and here these guys is, and they pulling up pictures, and this is our deluxe model, deluxe. And I'm sitting up here going, man, I'm just looking at this, and I just don't see the benefits of a tiny home. I just don't see how I'm sitting up in here cooking. My wife's standing there at the kitchen cooking, and I'm sitting here shitting right next to the stove. And my baby is trying to do homework on a bunk. I know he can smell me.
It done got in the egg.
Yeah, it all in the egg. I'm changing the channel with my toe. I'm sitting there going, I'm sitting here, man, and I'm just on this show roasting this tiny house. and the owner, the audience was screaming. The owner just folded his arms. Needless to say, we couldn't add a segment. Because it just...
They didn't put it on TV at all?
No, they couldn't do that, dog. Because I had annihilated tiny homes.
Can I do a Hey Steve? Though?
Yeah.
I've always, the lady, what's the lady's name that holds the microphone? She's not here for me to talk to. So I'm gonna be the Cleveland Browns, right? And my Hey Steve is this, because you brought it up. Hey Steve, how you doing? I'm the Cleveland Browns. We haven't had a good quarterback in decades, and we now have drafted Shedeur Sanders. But we're gonna start Joe Flacco, and Shedeur Sanders is going to be on our bench as the third quarterback. Steve, my question to you is, how do you feel as a fan?
As a fan? Well, thank you for asking that question. So kind of you, happy you're here. Where you from?
I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, that's good. I've been a Cleveland Brown fan my entire life. I happen to be 68 years old. I was sitting on the floor with my father in 1964 watching the Cleveland Browns beat the Baltimore Colts' ass. I was 7 years old. I watched that. I watched Jim Brown get up, be the last man into the huddle, all of that. I've watched us not win nothing since 1964. And you're gonna sit here and ask me about a damn quarterback? Joe Flacco will be playing a few games, but his old ass gonna get hurt. You just can't be 40 and run that fast away from all these people. So Joe Flacco gonna get hurt. Then we're gonna go to this white dude that no one has ever heard of until draft day. We've never heard of him. Why Shedeur lasted this long in the draft is beyond me, but it's okay. They did what they did, and everybody knows what was done. We ain't gotta beat the dead horse. Now, the game I saw Shedeur play was an impressive game. The second time, they put 4-5 linemen in the game that had never played football, organized, PAL, or no other league, and he got sacked 800 times, thrown for 2,000 yards in losses.
Right.
We find out later on that none of them damn linemen is playing football even today. They shouldn't have been playing in the first damn place. So now we're gonna watch this Gabriel boy go out here and panic his ass off soon as he get thrown in there with the Wolves. Because the real Wolves come during the season.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh is coming. Baltimore is coming. The real Wolves is coming. Now, I am praying to God that Shedeur gets an opportunity to show what he can really do. And I think that would be probably the best thing for him. But knowing the Cleveland Browns, they dumbass gonna trade him. They gonna trade him away, because quarterbacks ain't what we do. We had Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was...
What'd he do?
Well, he had a great quarterback. He just massages. Here's what Deshaun should have done. and I'm still a Deshaun Watson guy.
What he should have done?
At one point you have to learn, it's okay to get the massage. You got to quit turning over though.
And this has been Hey Steve on the pivot.
I'm sorry, man.
That's a perfect segue, man. How do you, I don't want to say the cancel culture, but going between like the acceptable jokes and the culture to the mainstream to the back and forth, and I even see you on Family Feud sometimes. I can see the clock working where you got a joke, but you're not allowed to say that joke.
I got it. And see, it's very hard, but that's why I left stand-up in 2012, 2015, one of them. I left stand-up then because I had so many shows. I had built such a catalog of work. I was making money. I had to let something go. And if I tour on the weekends, I wouldn't even have a family. So I let stand-up go because I saw the change coming. You remember I said change is inevitable. You got to react or participate. So my participation was to get away from it because the cancel culture started becoming everywhere. Comedy is too hard to do right now. And all you got to do is look at now the way the cancel culture works. See, y'all got a podcast and you're doing it brilliantly. Please don't stop doing the way you do. See, the problem with people is they get something that work and then they want to find something that work better. You ain't got to fix it if it ain't broke. See, I'm on radio for real. I have a real radio show. I have the #1 adult contemporary show, 25 to 54 in America. The Steve Harvey Morning Show. I'm at 112 markets. I got 9 million listeners. I'm controlled by FCC rules. The problem is, these people go get these podcasts who have no FCC rules to abide by. But you have to remember, even though you're on a podcast, you still got a brand.
Yeah.
And so you can't say what you want to say and expect to be relevant and not get canceled. You can't have a podcast and the way that you think you can make money is on clicks and views at the expense of others and not expect to have to pay the expense. You can't have a podcast and light me up and don't expect to get lit up. You can't have a podcast, let somebody come on your show and talk about your friends.
I agree.
Okay, you got a podcast. Y'all got a guest on here. And he starts slamming Fred. He knows something about Fred, happened in the past, will lie or not, and just starts slamming Fred. Y'all got to shut that down.
Yep.
Because this your brother. You got to protect him. And you got to protect the brand. They don't do that no more. So you come on my show, you spread all these lies about some people that I call my so-called friends, and I just let you sit there and check it. And because your podcast had so many views on that right there, your next guest is the same type of guest. Because now you want your money to be made off clicks and views at somebody's expense. Well, now guess what? You got to pay for that. Because once you put it out in the universe that I want clicks and views, the universe does not differentiate. It just gives you clicks and views. So now, here they come the rest of them. And now you got clicks and views.
My question to that, though, is there was the podcast, and there was a comedian who talked about you. And you waited a while before ever responding to Cat Williams. But when you responded, it felt like there was a lot more vitriol to your response than it was all of the initial accusations. Why do you think the response to what you said was so different from what he said on Shannon's show?
When you say vitriol, what you mean?
The social media fodder was upset with you for the way you finally responded to him. You mentioned his height and what you could do if there was ever an altercation. They said they felt like what he said about you was true because of the nature of your reaction.
Oh, well, see, first of all, I ain't really good at social media, so I didn't even know that was out there. But they can, like, really kiss most of the corners of my ass when you say stuff like that. First of all, man, let me say this. And I probably, see, first of all, when I said that, I was on stage at Earn Your Leisure. I was really just joking. I slap you, perm, all this. I was really just in front of a whole lot of people. I was really just joking. I don't really, if I had a chance to talk to Cat about anything, I would just ask him what's wrong. Just what's wrong. Let's go to that. Listen to me, man. Just because a person sits on the show and don't hesitate or say or and speaks eloquently, that don't mean it's true. That just don't mean it's true, man. And I probably shouldn't have said anything. That's a regret I have. I really shouldn't have said nothing. Cause we not in the same league, dog. We shooting at two different baskets. I shouldn't even have said nothing. And so really, man, I think I would apologize to him if he took offense to what I said. I was joking, but I would apologize to him. And like I said, if I had a chance to sit down with him, I would just say, hey man, what's wrong? But you gotta look at the whole tone of the interview. If the whole tone of the interview is what everybody else ain't, what everybody else ain't got, what everybody else doing, I think that's kind of like hate and jealousy. And hate and jealousy is a form of grief. You're grieving because obviously all them people you talking about have something you either want or are something that you ain't. And you're grieving. And the funeral becomes the podcast. So now let me roast all of these people. And be honest with you, man, and I'm not talking about him particular, but if you go on a podcast to degrade and belittle another group of people, that's a little bitch move to me. That's just real bitchy to me. I don't, if y'all ask me on the show, man, I don't want to talk negative about nobody. That's why I say, man, like, I would apologize to him or I would say, ask the brother what's wrong, because I really want to know, But I'm glad I don't really pay attention to social media much. Somebody told me last week that there's a rumor going around that somebody got on a plane and flew into town and slapped me.
Please tell me that don't happen.
And
Not with that security.
Yeah, and I was sitting up here and I said, okay, Mr. Harvey, did that ever happen? They get on a plane and fly and slap you? I said, well, okay, but where the rest of the story? Yeah, just tell me where the rest of us at. Well, what you mean? I said, but after he slapped me, what happened? Because that's what I need. It's got to be some more.
You ran in the house crying.
Yeah.
Not with all that security out there.
Trying to figure out when you slapped me.
What was the next move?
Yeah, because why are you kicking my ass? What is I'm going to be doing? That's what I be wondering, man. And like, I'm older now. I'm 68. I don't even, I'm not throwing hands with you. But I got a lot of people that I pay. They'll lay you down out here.
We saw.
I'm gonna tell you this.
That's a big ass dog.
The way they took my selfie, and I still don't have my license. If they slapped you, they get found.
They got my license too.
See, look, man, you can't come on here, because we have workers and stuff, and you come on here, you can go stay in another building or something,
On the compound.
Yeah, by the time 4:30 get here, and we know everybody out, if you ain't picked your license up, you still here.
So we got to watch it.
Yeah, so now we're going to come find you.
But I gotta follow up on that. Why don't you and Kat just sit down and talk? You have the resources, he has the resource. I know y'all know enough people. That shit blew up. Like, why can't y'all just talk? Because that's how we do it. We've done it. You even bring up us. We have arguments.
Yeah.
And, bruh, shit hit me. Let's talk.
Let's
figure
easy,
this shit
that's
out.
easy to do, but I don't look, man, if you don't have a desire to talk to me, I don't have time to run you down. Yep. But I wasn't the accuser. I didn't see, you gotta be careful of people who become victims of circumstances that they create. You on here talking about me. I didn't talk about you. If you wanna sit down, I'll sit down. Man, I'll sit down with anybody. I promise you I will, man. I'm that big a man now. Now 30 years ago, I'd have found you with purpose.
Yeah.
But not no more, man.
is it low-hanging fruit because of everything that you do? Are you an easy target?
Yeah,
Like, because a lot of 68-year-olds, like, you just supposed to just be family, doing your thing, retirement, but you still do so much. You're so relevant. And it's so easy for people to attach my wagon to you, like clout or whatever it might be, right? Because social media is gonna respond.
My youngest child, man, is 28. So they in that generation. And I asked them what is it, and they said, Dad, you clickbait.
Wow.
He said, you
Summed it up,
clickbait. He said, you one of the most viral people in your age group out there. He said, Dad, every clip on Family Feud got you on it.
Yeah.
You clickbait. If they can take your face and put it on anything, you become clickbait. He said, and that's what it is, you know. The girl that runs the Shade Room, who's friends with my kids, they're like very decent towards me. You know, they don't put salacious stuff out. They don't let it go, you know. They watch stuff like that. Then there's people out there, man. I hear stuff about me, man, that just be crazy.
Right.
I mean, it be outlandish. My wife is sleeping with the bodyguard, with the chef, with the driver. How they still driving and cooking? What you talking about, man? What kind of bitch ass dude you think I am, man? I mean, really, man? You really think I'm finna allow this? I be looking at people, man.
That's wild.
And people get on there and they repeat the stuff.
Right.
Like I had this one dude got on a podcast and was just talking about my wife, man, using derogatory words and stuff. And I've known the cat before. I found him. I said, hey, man, let me explain something to you. You can say whatever you want to say about me. I really don't care. But that girl right there, she off limits, man. You don't know what she did for me. You have no idea. Her presence in my life, what it has done for me, what she's given to me. I said, now, I'm gonna give you a chance to explain it. This conversation gonna be real simple. And he just said, no, man, I ain't mean it like that. I just used that word. I use the word bitch all the time, you know, blah, 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 blah. So we kind of talked it out and we got to an agreement, you know. But that's the only thing I come for people for. You know, me, I don't care what you say about me.
Yeah. With your kids and your daughters especially. We was joking about it earlier where my damn son, we tighten their ass up quick. The girls are tough.
Right now.
You know what I'm saying? I call it pow pow. That's an old school spanking and everybody give me a hard time. Boys can get a pow pow. Yeah. You can't pow pow a girl.
I've dusted my boys off to near death.
But the pressure that your fame, the pressure that the last name Harvey has put on your daughters of just living a normal life, and then even you being a father and having to deal with those, the boyfriends, the exes, the all that stuff, where, bruh, you joked about it, but I that's why I thought about it, where you were like, you can't really just go whoop nobody's ass. You're Steve Harvey. You can't walk into a Denny's and slap somebody.
Man, my wife tell me that all the time. She says, Steve, you got to quit talking like that. She said, you got too much to lose.
But that with my daughter's 12, I couldn't think about her now dating and me fucking up the money for going to tighten one of these dudes up.
But you know, look, man, the daughters is different. Because as their father, I'm their protector. I'm their example of what love looks like towards their mother. So how I treat their mother is very important because they looking at it and they see it. So that's why I always try to be a great example for them for that. Every boy that has ever come through that door to date any of the 4 daughters, they've all heard the same speech. Hey man, listen to me. This could last, this might not last. Y'all can break up, y'all can quit talking, you can ghost her, you can stop texting. But if you put your hand on her, I will find you. And I am going to do some things to you that's going to be ungodly. Because if you beat this daughter of mine, who I've never beaten, I've never struck one of my daughters, you can't do that either. Because if you do, and I hear about it, there ain't no more words. I'm gonna find you. And I have income disposable income dedicated to.
Hey, he sound like Taken. I have a particular skill set. Hey, I have a particular skill set.
Yeah.
I will come for you. I will find you.
Yeah. Hey, bro, that's one of my favorite lines.
Yeah, he said.
I will find you. He listened to that dude's voice. That's one of my favorite scenes. Yeah. And that's just it.
Yeah.
You know, I tell this story, man, like my daughter was 15 and they had a junior prom. And this little boy was gonna take my daughter to the junior prom. I said no. Marjorie said, Steve, she can go. So the little boy came over to the house and I met him. And he was 16. I'm looking at him. And I hate him. You know, I hate him. I have nothing for him. I have nothing but pure hatred for this boy.
And you also didn't know him?
No, I didn't know him.
You just hated him?
Yeah, instant.
Okay, respect.
Instant. Like Folgers. I just need the hot water. This shit finna be coffee. So I'm sitting here looking at this little boy. And so the junior prom ended at 10 p.m. And so I said, my man, what time the party over? He said, 10 o'clock, sir. I said, okay. Lori has to be home by 10:30. He said, no, Mr. Harvey, hold on one second. He said, the after party starts at 11. I said, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Lori has to be home at 10:30. He said, no, Mr. Harvey, but you misunderstand what I'm saying. The after party is at 11 o'clock. I said, yeah, okay, I got all that. Lori got to be home at 10:30. She's 15. She gonna take that. He said, Mr. Harvey, but it's right upstairs. I said, right upstairs from where? He said, in the hotel. I said, little motherfucker, are you telling me that you're taking my daughter upstairs in a hotel? That what you I said, boy, it's no chance of me okaying no stuff like this. Now, what he don't know is his ride to the prom is already taken care of. Because my driver taking y'all to the prom. And my security gonna ride in the front seat. She gonna be in the car, she gonna be back out.
Right.
I said, are we clear about that? She's home. He said, yeah. Mr. Harvey says, anything else you need me to know? I said, yeah, just one thing, man. I said, just know this. Whatever you do to her, I'm gonna do to you. I said, so if I look outside and y'all kissing real hard, when you come in here, me and you gonna kiss real hard.
I'm still in that.
No, sir. No.
Yeah, I said,
Hey.
you feel me?
That's
I said, if anything else happens, we're gonna do that too.
Hey, I'd have told the driver, hey, drop me off at my house first.
Right now.
Hey, like
No,
right now.
See, but the thing is,
No, she was home at 10:15.
As she's gotten older, Lori has obviously dated famously. How difficult, because listen, both of my daughters are very pretty girls.
Beautiful young women.
When they post, I be trying to show love, because on social media, you don't love your daughter if you don't repost her. And I be scared to repost my daughter because I know a lot of like football players and athletes and entertainers follow me. And I don't want them sliding in DMs because you saw my daughter on my page. My son won't post either of them.
I got you.
As she's gotten older, and now you can't tell the men, I'm gonna do to you what you do to them. How difficult has it been to see Lori date now?
It's hard, man. I ain't even gonna lie, it's hard. I've had to swallow some things, And I feel for her because she's in the public. She's a brand ambassador, so she makes a really good living promoting products, wearing clothes, jewelry, makeup, skincare line, bikini line. I got it. But man, see, I gotta be real careful because Lori, boy, she be in my ass. I can't make no mistakes. I can't make sense. I saw one of her exes somewhere at a game somewhere, and I shook his hand. Boy, I can't even touch his ass no more. I better not acknowledge him or look at him or nothing no more. So I'm off limits. If you are ex, your ass is my ex too. That's the rule. The rule in our house is any boy that's an ex, he's now my ex too. I must hate him like we was dating. It's been hard, man, because her life has had to be played out in the public eye. people don't understand when, like you understand, you have attractive daughter that's in the light, it'll attract a certain
Demographic of men.
Yeah, certain cat, man. And cats that's got more know that they got more to offer so they can come quicker. You know what I mean? So it's been difficult, man, watching her. But she's very smart. And everything they say online, I know is never true. I hate it for her. But I think she's figuring it out now. I hope. And I think she's learned from her mistakes like you want your children to learn from their mistakes. But she's an adult. And I don't get a say-so in it. I just get a, everybody come to the house is nice. Oh man, Mr. Harvey, thank you so much for this opportunity. You're right, I can't say you're taking her to the prom if I catch you kissing her, because I already know they're kissing, so that can't happen. But when she was 15, kiss her now.
You do Celebrity Family Feud too, and I wanted to ask you about what I think is one of the funnier moments on the show. You mentioned guys who could offer more and different things. Stephon Diggs was on the show, and it's the end of the show, and it said, leave it, and his answer was in.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And you said, and when they revealed it, you said, see, all your homeboys said, that's your damn problem. When you have a athlete like that says something like that, how do you gauge what reaction works? Because your reaction to saying, hey, and they say that's your damn problem, was probably the perfect thing to say to something like that, because you know exactly what he was thinking.
Yeah. Man, all of us improv. It's impromptu. I can't even remember half the stuff.
Right.
Celebrity Family Feud, my favorite thing is when the athletes come on, because I know all of them. Because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of your sport. I'm a fan of basketball. Now, if they bring baseball players on, probably ain't gonna know who they is. Unless you bring on Barry Bonds or what's the dude that used to pitch for the great reliever for New York that retired?
Mariano Rivera.
Mariano Rivera. He was on the show, and they said, name a word that rhymes with yummy. And he said, Miami. And man, I screamed. I couldn't breathe. I had to walk off the set. Because he's that. I said, name a word that rhymes with yummy. He said, Miami. And I went, God, dog. And that was the only, but athletes are my favorite ones on the show, because I know them. Shaq, come on. Everybody with a gold jacket, I know. I know them. You seen the Netflix special on the Cowboys?
Yeah. You ain't see it?
They just love some Jerry.
Wow.
Have you seen it?
Only bits and pieces.
I've seen the whole thing. And I'm from Cleveland, right? So the Browns and the Cowboys were in the North Division. See, I've been watching football before there was an AFC and an NFC. I've seen every Super Bowl. I've never missed a Super Bowl. I've seen every last one of them. I've been watching sports since I was a little boy. I saw the Browns in the championship game against the Colts in '64 with my daddy. The Cowboys, I always hated them because they were in the North Division with the Browns. So I hated the Dallas Cowboys. I didn't care what. Fast forward, I own a comedy club down in Dallas, Texas. All the Cowboys used to come through there. Emmett, Michael, Nate, all the boys, Prime, everybody came through the club. So we've had great relationship, man. Them was the coolest dudes, man.
Yeah.
But I hated the Dallas Cowboys. I've always loved the players. And then me and Prime had a house across the street from each other. Mm-hmm. I was over at the house with Prime one day talking here. You knew it was his house because he had Prime on the gate.
Sound about right.
So we standing there talking. And we stayed in this division called Willoughby and Country. It's 55 homes of the biggest houses, probably second wealthiest community outside of Richland Hills in Dallas. And the house across the street from Dion was massive, man. I'm talking about massive. 30,000 square feet. It was huge. And me and Dion was standing out there, man. And Dion said, man, what's your favorite house? And I said, what? I said, man, do you know him? You met him yet? He said, no. And we said, man, what do he do? I know what I do. I'm on TV. I know what prime dude. He a professional athlete. Well, who bought that house? As soon as we said it, a convertible Mercedes pulled out and there was a white guy in it. He turned the corner, he looked and he said, "Oh my God, oh my God." And he slammed the brakes and got out the car. He said, "My two favorite people, Steve Harvey and Deion Sanders. Man, I've been watching you since Showtime at the Apollo. Man, your shows are great, I love you. Deion, I'm a big fan." So he gets autographs. You know, wasn't no phone cameras back then. So then he settled down. Deion said, "Hey man, hey, let me ask you a question. What do you do?" He said, "Who, me? No, I just got a job." He said, "No, what kind of job you do?" He was the CEO of Frito-Lay. He didn't play no sports. He didn't shoot no baskets. And I thought about this, man. As much money as they pay you to play sports, as much money as they pay me to be on TV, they're not paying you more money than they're making. Because that's not a good business model. Nope. So I'm saying all that to say, you know, I know they got rid of Parsons and that was just crazy to me. But I watched the special, man, and I saw some inside stuff. It's really a dope special. I love Jerry Jones, man, and the way he is with some of the players, how he kept Michael around and supported him all like this. And I love what he's done with his family, to leave this for his family, and how his sons feel about one day his father ain't gonna be here at a really emotional moment. But I still hate the Dallas Cowboys.
He said, I said all that to say, I still hate them.
Yeah, I actually thought you was gonna say you was a 49ers fan, because I'm looking at Richard, and I don't know, man. What's your favorite Richard in the room?
That one over there.
That one?
Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor, man, was like the king of all of this.
You guys were the kings of comedy. Who are your kings of comedy?
If I had to have a Mount Rushmore,
Oh, man.
first of all, Pryor
Sit up for this one.
Pryor is a statue all by himself. There's nobody belongs on a rock next to him. Pryor is a statue all by himself in the world of comedy. The only other person that gets a statue alone by himself is Eddie Murphy. He just gets one by, and it's not just his stand-up. It's the $100 million movies. Do you know that no one has made more $100 million movies than him except Tom Hanks? He the only person ever made more $100 million. That damn Eddie boy. So they hit a rock by themselves.
Yeah.
My Mount Rushmore is, I had one for the public and one for me.
Okay.
My Mount Rushmore is Said the Entertainer. I never laughed so hard in my life, man. I've sat with Said the Entertainer, and I'm talking about, man, peed on myself. And I've been with Said since '89, man. TV shows, The Kings. He's just the funniest human being I've ever been around.
Yeah.
Earthquake is the other funniest
Very
cat
funny.
I've ever been around in real life, and J. Anthony Brown. Those are the three funniest dudes in the world to me. On stage, they're not gonna get the popularity of most people, but I laugh for a different reason. Now, here's the guys that's the ones that the public would get and understand. Chris Rock is on that rock. Dave Chappelle is on that rock, man. And then it get real foggy after that. It get
It's
real.
one more.
It's two more on the rock.
But it's one more that's not foggy, and he was a king of comedy.
Well, see, hold up, that's different though, because he gonna get on the rock. Bill Cosby is on that rock because he's the most prolific stand-up to ever live. He had over 20 comedy albums. I don't think people understand how dope this dude really was. And then, for me, on that rock is the Kings.
Yeah, they all, yeah.
The Kings is on the rock, to me.
Nah,
That's just to
I
me.
agree.
And you know why, man? Because they did something that had never been done before. And it hasn't been done since until 85 South. And 85 South has done something, man, I didn't think would ever be done.
That's great. Yeah.
They put a improv troupe of comedians together and made it work. And I thought that would never work. So my rock up there is Cosby, Rock, Chappelle, and the Kings.
I love that.
But Eddie and Richard is peaks by themselves.
Raw and Delirious still to this day are things I rewatch every year on the plane. Every single year. And you could never do that today, though. Man. You couldn't do either of those today.
No, you can't do nothing. I can't do the first joke I wrote. The first joke I ever wrote as a stand-up in '85 was about AIDS. I wrote an AIDS joke.
I bet it's funny.
I just started laughing thinking about I just started laughing.
In '85.
You can't joke about the AIDS in the 80s.
No, in '85, it was killing. They was throwing beer at me. They was laughing so hard.
He said it was killing.
I wrote an AIDS joke. That AIDS joke would cost me my entire career today.
Wow.
I think you should just get to the biggest pivot.
Yeah.
Get to the biggest.
Hold on, I got one more. One more quick. I gotta ask him one more quick one. Cause we were just with Lavelle Crawford. And they was talking about, it was something online about you stealing jokes. And Lavelle Crawford told me I stole the mama's dick joke from him, which I never heard him tell the mama's dick joke. I go from a racial standpoint. My daddy's a big black dude, my mama's a little white lady. Mm-hmm. I saw my daddy walking around in the house naked when I was a kid, and I always thought I'd catch up to him, and I never did, so I must have my mama's dick. It's a funny joke.
Look at his face.
Hey, man, he said I must have my mama's dick? Goddamn.
My daddy had a slug, and mine never extended.
I could never have said that.
It's a good joke.
About your mama? Man, boy, do you know? Woo, I got tight. Hey, man, that's the one subject at 68 years old that I fight instantly.
What's that?
If you say anything about Eloise Vera Harvey, my mama been gone 28 years. Because I still cry about her, man. If you say, oh, dog, it be some days, man, it just hit me, And my mom been dead 28 years, man. But it was the most crushing, nothing's ever happened to me like that.
Dang.
My mama's death was the most crushing day of my life. It was worse than homelessness and anything I've ever seen. When I lost her, man, I didn't know what I was gonna do. So I got in a fight in Detroit. I'm talking about after the Kings of Comedy. I was at a skating rink with the radio show doing something. And I was walking through the skating rink, and Detroit is big love for me, man. Hey, Steve, my man, what's up right here? Why don't you come skating? I used to could skate, but I know, don't do this. I had them big ass suits on, it wouldn't be like. And a dude said, hey man, let me holler for a minute. I said, I ain't got time, man. And then man, fuck you, ain't never got time. Yeah. Your fat ass mama, just out of nowhere. Bruh, I, without thought, spun, gone, boom. I had my bodyguard with me. He couldn't get to me fast enough. I lit his ass up, man. I was in there swinging at a roller skating rink. Grown ass man, got money.
In a suit.
Famous suit, rich. Suit. Fighting at a skating rink. And nobody else was in the skating rink fighting but my hood ass. Cause he said, man, your fat ass mama,
You can't do it.
No.
He lost his father recently, and he actually asked a guy, Trent Shelton, on our show about it, who had lost his mother, and he basically said, he's like, it never goes away.
When does it stop? Cause like I'll be driving, and the light will turn green, and I still say, appreciate it, Randy. And he died 6 months ago.
6 months.
7 months ago.
No, bro, it's 28 years.
And you still, if something goes right in your life, you still think about your mama.
Man, my mother, my father, because you know how much they gave you, man? And what they left you with is with you, and you know it's from them. Sometimes when I laugh, I hear my father. That's my daddy's laugh, man. That's my brother's laugh. My brother gone and my daddy gone. And man, I just don't know how, like you'll get better at it. My mom had been gone about 3 years, and I was with this girl down in Atlanta. We was eating, and they had a big clock with the date on it, and all of a sudden the date popped up, and it said March 27th, and that's my mother's birthday. And I looked at the clock, and man, tears just started coming down my face. She said, Steve, what's wrong? I said, nothing. She said, no, what's wrong? I said, it's crazy. I just looked at the clock. It's my mama's birthday. She said, how long has your mother been deceased? I said, 3 years. She said, and you still crying? I said, is your mom still living? She said, yeah. I said, okay. You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
Cause bro, I'm gonna tell you, man, it's like it's unexplainable. That's why when I see people at odds with their mom, I be going, man, you need to go fix this. You go fix it with your mom, man, cause when she leave this world, man, I tell you what hurts you, your father's name was Randy.
Yeah.
This is the quote that I learned that helped me with my father's death, and I couldn't understand why it was beating me up so bad. When a man's father dies, he realizes that the one man who truly wanted him to be better than him is gone. Your father is the only man that has ever wanted you to be better than him. There ain't another man living wants you to be better than him. Bruh,
I've never heard that.
there's no one. Your father is the only man who wanted you to be better than him. I love you, man, but I don't want you to be better than me. Ryan crazy about you, but he ain't finna want you to be better than him.
That's real.
Your father wants you to be better than him. And when he dies, you realize it. And what the part that fucked me so bad was, man, I don't feel like crying today.
Man,
The only thing,
how about that?
listen, man. I didn't have nobody. When my daddy died, I didn't have nobody to say they was proud of me. It fucked me up. Cause you know, my dad used to call me and say, man, I'm so proud of you. And when he died, man, nobody said that to me no more. Nobody. And it's kind of crazy, man. Until I married Marjorie, nobody said they was proud of me. My wife, the only person say she proud of me, man. Only person. So loser, that's what the fuck part for me was with him. Cause man, like I would get him tickets. He came to all my shows, like I'd fly him out. My mother never saw me, cause she didn't want to hear me cussing. So my mother never saw me. My dad, even if the show was sold out, I'd make him take a fold-away chair and pop it up for him and my brother. And my dad would sit down there, and he was sitting next to this lady one time. She said, "Oh, well, you must be special, sir. They done put a fold-away chair in there." He said, "Yeah. You know that boy that finna come out here, Steve Harvey? That's my son. All these niggas in here done paid to see this boy right here." And my father would sit there, man. And I sent him money all the time, man. I used to send him 10,000 every week, every month, send him money. My mother said, your daddy go down there with that check in his pocket with his gun, and everybody was trying to, Mr. Harvey, where is you getting all this money from? You seen the TV show, the Steve Harvey show? They said, yeah, that's my boy right there. And that all that gave me the juice I needed. When he left, man, that fucked me. Really.
Well, Steve, man, he was going through it too, but if we can say we proud of you, man, everything you do for the black community, I mean on some real shit. With Rashad and Troy and Invest Fest, Earn Your Leisure, the kids camp, the mentoring stuff, even after all the shows, trying to speak life into people. Like that means a lot. And from a distance, I've always admired that about you. You have your funny, but then you have like where you try to really speak life into people like this is what it's about. So the question is this, because we ask all of our guests their biggest pivot in life. That's that one moment you can look back on and say, because this happened to me or for me, this is why I am who I am today.
Probably the biggest moment for me was that moment I had described to you, man, while I was finna call my father and give up. That moment of almost giving up, that was such a valuable lesson that I had taken myself almost to extinction. I had taken myself to where I had had enough. I was up to here, I couldn't do no more, I couldn't take no more, man. I ain't got no more, which was another crazy thing about my father. You know, my father told me, man, he said, son, I used to work construction with him, and I said, Dad, I'm tired. He said, we're gonna do this here. He said, well, just keep going, boy. I said, Dad, I'm tired, just keep going. I said, but Dad, I'm out, man. I can't do no more. He said, son, listen to me. When you've done all you can and you can't do no more, do some more. And I'd be sitting there going, hey man, did you not hear me say I'm done? I have no more? Yeah, I heard that. But when you've done all you can and you can't do no more, do some more. And that instilled in me that there's always a little bit more. So the moment, man, that I was fitting to give up and call my father, and I got that call on the answering machine, it restored my faith that God is with you, even when you don't feel him or see him or you don't think. God is with you at your darkest moment, and he's never late. It might take a while, but God ain't ever been late. And he's a right on time God. And that moment, man, when I called back there and he said, you got it for Sunday night, and I realized I had $35 and I wasn't gonna make it, and I called back and he said Sunday night, and I went, dog, I ain't even gonna be able to get there. And I called again and they had a gig for me. Had I not called back to check, had I not took the gig, had I not felt like giving up, I never would have made the call. Had I not called, I never would have got the gig. If I never got the gig, I never would have been able to fly to the Apollo. If I never had flew to the Apollo and put that plastic bag on my head, none of this would have happened.
Yeah.
And when I went to the Apollo and did that Mike Tyson eye joke,
Yeah.
that I wrote that joke on the way.
Yeah.
That joke threw me into the stratosphere.
Wow.
And that was the biggest pivot in my darkest moment when I was about to give up. That light called Christ, God Almighty, never failed me yet, showed up, man, and just boom. And that launched all of this that is me today.
Wow.
Man, thank God for old school answering machines.
Man,
And Jesus Christ showing up on time.
dude, you have another message. God damn.
I am so grateful, like, you know, and I just kept telling you through text, but I want to be able to tell you face to face, we are proud of you. We all need you. And just like I said, a simple text message from you when I was driving home, thinking about next moves and what I need to do and perceptions of people, let me know that I was on the right path. And I think as long as you keep being you, as long as you keep doing that, as long as you keep giving back, there's a whole bunch of people that are proud of you that probably never get to say it. So thank you for sitting with us, man. We're so grateful.
Thank you, man.
My
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. That was amazing.
No, man, I
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Freddie, my man.
Always.
Really
I
appreciate
need
you.
your number, man.
Oh, yeah.